There is no debate that technology has changed massively over the years, but it can be good fun to take a step back and reflect on how far the digital world has come. Discover some of the differences between the technologies of the past and present. Early digital computers such as the ENIAC and the Z3 were humongous, taking up space and often on the wall. These days, computers are everywhere. We have computers on our desk, in our pockets, and in our cars. On top of this, many of today's computers are a million times faster than those of the past. Next time your computer is running slowly, think of the old days before you complain. Although the first mobile phone call was made in 1973, the first commercially available handheld mobile phone was the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, released a decade later. The phone was huge in size and in price, standing at 13 inches high and costing just under $4,000. You might complain about your smartphone's battery, but imagine charging it for 10 hours, only to talk for 30 minutes before depleting it again. Classic video games such as Pong, Space Invaders, and Pac-Man are vastly different to the video games we see today. First and foremost, they were played on arcade machines and not in the comfort of a home. There was no kicking back after work and playing a quick game of FIFA before dinner. Perhaps if this was still the case, then some of us would actually go to sleep on time. They say we live in an increasingly digital world, but what exactly does digital even mean? You probably know that electronics like computers, smartphones, and televisions are digital. But what is it about them that makes them digital? Digital and analog really refers to a way of transferring and storing information. The natural world is completely analog. Information in the natural world is transferred using waves. You see a friend on the other side of the food court because a light wave bounces off them and enters your eye. You hear your favorite song coming out of a nearby store because sound waves from the store make it into your ear and vibrate your eardrum. Your eardrum physically moves up and down in a wave pattern. Digital signals are different. A digital signal is what the computer understands and is made up of patterns of electricity. Electricity is a flow of charge, electrons to be exact, around the circuit. You can send a signal using electricity by varying how fast those electrons move. In a computer, electrical signals represent the only language that computers really understand, binary code containing a series of ones and zeros. That's what a digital signal is, pulses of electricity representing ones and zeros. So far, this all may seem kind of abstract, but you probably know of many examples of both digital and analog signals. Most modern ways of transferring and storing information are digital. USB cables and sticks, HDMI connections, SD cards, CDs and DVDs. All of these contain information stored as a series of ones and zeros, which are transferred from place to place using electricity. But you don't have to go too far back in time to find examples of analog signals and storage. Cassette tapes, records, television through an aerial antenna, basic telephones, and most musical instruments were all analog. For example, cassette tapes and records contain actual bumps that represent the sound waves that are stored in them. The benefits of analog include the charm of the imperfections of the medium, like the hiss and pops of old recordings. The fact that less conversions need to be done, the information is more complete and exact, and that a computer failure cannot cause you to lose an analog recording. Sometimes, analog signals can be better quality when compared to cheap digital equipment. The benefits of digital signals are that They can be transferred at the speed of light, tend to pick up less noise, are cheaper, allow you to access any part of recording almost instantly, allow copies to be made without losing or degrading the original, and less of the signal is lost when transmitted over a long distance. 2015, getting in contact with someone is hardly ever a problem. From calling, text message, and email to Snapchat, Skype, and Facebook. There are a multitude of ways to chat. This generation is known for being in a constant state of interaction. But it wasn't always this easy. Think about Romeo and Juliet. If only they had iMessage, then maybe they wouldn't have found themselves in such a pickle. Granted, we've come a long way from counting on messengers on horseback to deliver the memo. There's been a lot of advancement in how we stay connected. It's strange to think that there was once a time without even telephones, when the only way to talk to old friends was with pen and paper. Yet, it was once a reality.